All right, so live stream started. So unmute yourself when you're ready.
It's not on the agenda. No, it's not done. It's on the agenda. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Leadership. Today is Monday, December 16th, 2024. The time is 7:03 p.m. We're going to start off the meeting. Okay, introductions. My name is Rich Reynoso, Vice Chair. To my left,
Cynthia Rodriguez, Board Chair.
Oh, sorry, Naomi Pemberton, Chair of Ethics and Disciplinary.
Juan Luciano, Economic Development Committee.
Sandra Unger, Health and Social Services.
Larry Santiago, Sergeant of Arms.
Veronica Castro, Treasurer.
very good. Oh, and those online who are a chair.
Aura, you chair?
He's co-chair of.
I think co-chair of land use
There you go.
or secretary.
All right, thank you. Review of meeting minutes. We'll have the minutes next month. I think we're still in the process of getting those completed, right, Veronica?
Yes.
Okay, very good. In the meantime, if you look on your second page of your agenda, you'll see the attendance.
You want me to give that?
If you see something incorrect or you need something updated, let us know, but we think this is what. Leadership, okay. Okay.
Oh, I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we have quorum here today, so. Jeremy?
I was just making sure Ryan closed the door. Ryan just walked in.
Okay.
What'd you say?
We're up to section 3 of the agenda, so if you want to pull up
Okay.
the full board agenda for December 2024.
All right, can you view that? I know it's small. I can make it larger.
Make it, I
Thank
mean,
you.
we can
Bigger.
make it bigger. Yeah.
Better?
Yep,
What do you need,
So this
Naomi?
Thursday,
yep.
Einstein, WebEx. Actually, I think this is wrong. I gotta correct this. Because whenever we meet on an off day, that means the WebEx information changes. So I have it set up on a schedule, the fourth Thursday of the month. Pretty sure I forgot to do that part.
All right.
So I gotta publish that too. So give me a second. Yeah, it's definitely changed the WebEx information for whoever's joining remotely. Also, Cynthia, maybe now would be a good time to, I don't know if you saw my email earlier that Harriet drafted that I sent your way about who attended remotely last month. If you want to review that first, or you want me to bring it up,
Would you mind, please?
I'll bring it up.
Yes.
All right, so Harriet and I reviewed the tape. It's hard to follow exactly how long people were on, but we had 5 board members that attended remotely. Most of them were, well, 2 of them were on, I would say more than, in my estimation as well as Harriet's, more than 50% of the time their camera was on with their face present. 2 of them were about 50% of the time. One of them was 50% or less.
Is that good or bad?
So I think it's a reminder. I think it's just a good reminder that, hey, if you're not on the majority of the time, you'll be marked excused for the meeting. And then maybe also it would help if we did a quasi roll call at the beginning of the meeting, and maybe at the end. Some boards do that to see, so everybody's kind of put on notice who's been naughty and nice, so to speak. But that's up to you guys.
I like that idea.
Yep.
All right, so
Jeremy, can I ask you a question?
You went to Washington.
Could you talk to a lot of the board members? Is there any reason why they're not attending in person?
yeah, that's the other thing too. If you're not attending in person, you got to state the reason why. I know one person had to travel. So amongst the 5 people last month, Two had to work. One
Okay.
had to travel. One I'm not sure of. I do think they did email that they had to attend remotely. I don't know if they provided the reason. And then the other one, I'm not recalling right now, but I could look that up.
Okay,
But that's also a really great point.
All
You have to have a reason. You have to, if you're going to attend remotely, the best thing for you to do is to send us an email. In this case, Cynthia and the staff, and state your reason why you're being remote, because you do have to provide a reason.
okay. And then are people following that?
I think this goes here.
Oh.
So
Jeremy, are people following that policy?
Some of the stuff in here.
it's hit or miss sometimes. I can like I said, I know about the three. I know one of them is probably stated the reason.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay,
I think interestingly enough, the issue is more with committee meetings than full board meetings.
okay, okay. Do you think that we need to, put an email out or, maybe something in the full board agenda, just discussing it a little bit, that this is the policy? I know we've done it 18 times, but should we do it for the end of the year or the beginning of January, saying that this is the policy and we need to, I'm sorry, I'm ethics, so I have to,
No,
No, that's okay.
that's good.
this is our policy. If you are going to be remote, you have to send in an email. If you're gonna be absent, you have to send in an email and why,
The camera on all the time.
and camera on all the time.
Yeah, but what happens if someone says they're on their way, they're in the car, but never show up here? Then
Right,
what?
So then they need to, that, they'll
They're
be-
absent,
yeah,
right?
Depends at the end, like Cynthia said, it was
Right.
like.
And then they don't let you know until the last
Right,
minute.
because they have to sign in, right?
Right.
Yeah, but I always inform my members that they have it. So, let me know that you're gonna have to work that day and maybe,
Right,
but
right.
no, you don't do it. And then you're in the car and you never come.
yeah, and maybe the chairs, I
So
know, what I do is I try to text everyone and just say, hi, reminder, meeting today, even though you get a text also from the office, which is great, because that's been helping me a lot. Maybe we could just make a standard, for chairs to kind of participate in the process as well. Make sure that individuals come. If they can let them know why they're not coming, accountability.
Yeah, I agree. That text message has been helping me a lot too.
Yeah, right, Orville?
It has been. Who's ever set that up? That's great. It's a good reminder.
That's Jeremy.
Yeah, and every
Thanks, Jeremy.
day he has a different language.
Oh, yes.
Say
they
hello.
were-
We're not-
Yeah.
Love it.
Harriet helps me.
Okay, that's all I have to say.
Are you sharing your screen, Jeremy, or no?
No, I stopped it because
Oh, okay.
discussion. If you're ready to move on, I'll share it again.
Let's move on.
So we have 3 registered speakers. I want to try to,
One person twice.
what's that?
Sandra Smith and Sarah.
Oh,
Fee.
no.
They look like-
It's the same issue. And
My bad. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure it's an issue that really needs to be,
Sit, go, so I can hear you.
what's that?
No, I was talking.
Yeah.
Can I bring?
Yeah, I
And
think
Bronx-
so.
Mel-
Yeah.
I guess she's been there for 100 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, DEP has inspected this, so it's not necessarily maybe an agenda, an item that really needs to be brought to the full board, but I can apprise the board of what actions have been taken.
No.
I don't want to waste your time tonight. I'll just forward the email I got from DEP on. If that's okay.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, and then, chair's report. We have to put some bylaw proposals on there, don't we?
I was just writing that down.
Mhm.
Is that a typo? Is it 1900 Seminole or?
Definitely a typo.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, there's an
That's how the
explanation.
constituents are. I copy and paste.
That's another of just homes.
I think it's supposed to be a 1.
No, it's supposed to be a 1.
That's how Ron sent it, so that's how Jeremy posted it.
No, that should be one. That can't be an exclamation point 900.
Well, I'm telling you, I copied and pasted, that's.
No, I know, whoever sent it to you probably sent it wrong as well.
I know, but if
Yeah.
you look at the keyboard, one and exclamation point are the same.
Or Eureka.
So, the bylaw proposals that, well, so there, if I scroll down, there are two that were voted on. And I created a hyperlink here. So these are not the ones that need to come up on the chair's report. But just so, I mean, I'm jumping ahead, I know, but just so we are clear on. There's this ballot issue that came up last election cycle. About securing a name on the ballot. Let's resolve that. And then the issue of appointing committee chairs if the committee fails to do that, or appointing a committee chair.
Mhm.
These were voted in bylaws. Oh, you can't see this, can you? Sorry.
No, but
All
I know.
right, so, you want me to share my screen or no? Or is that-
Yes.
First, yes, please.
I mean, share the hyper, okay, hold on.
Um, So I have a proposed bylaw, Jerry, so I'm gonna email Sandra.
No, you email first the
The chair.
chair, and then she brings it up.
And it's gonna be if you cannot vote on a chair, that the chair, vote on a chair of your committee, that the chair of the board will have to intervene.
Yeah,
Well, we have that. That's
We have-
Yes.
That's in the bylaws.
Yeah, that was in the budget.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought that
I'm
was.
trying to share it right now, just bear with me.
After like 2 months.
After 8 months, oh, okay.
You can't do it right
Right,
away
can you
because
view-
they meet in September, October.
Oh, okay.
But it's
Can
in
you view
there.
that?
Sorry
Yeah.
about that. I retract
I'll
my
do it.
statement.
We
Can
let
you view
her,
it?
Yep, we're good.
makes it easier on the bylaw, but it's in there.
Okay.
All right, so if this gets approved, the date would change from January to December.
Oh, okay.
And like I said, the first thing would be this ballot issue. So securing the ballot, the name on the ballot can be done at the same meeting as the vote. And then if we go to Article 5, Section 2. Yeah, so committees should vote in September or October.
Mhm.
Each September, or October, I gotta clean up that link.
Yeah, this will
Okay.
answer, Naomi, this will answer your
Good
query.
question, yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. So should a committee fail to do it, then the chair of the board has to appoint somebody by November 30th.
Okay, wonderful.
Those were approved in committee. Let me go back to sharing the agenda because there was also, there was also this issue of advanced registration that came up in bylaws. So was there, did you
36.
guys decide on what should be proposed or you didn't decide yet?
I thought we all voted on it last month, like, October.
Yeah, but the idea is doing something in the bylaws now. So it was a long discussion. There's a proposal about limiting the gallery to a half an hour total.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Sandy, you want to handle that or?
I thought we voted on that.
I thought we voted and said it, and we said that they, oh,
Yeah, but in
Right,
terms
well,
of, yeah,
Listen.
we voted to enact it last meeting,
Right.
but then we discussed it extensively at bylaws and I thought there was talk about reverting to signing.
But here's my issue with this. We voted at full board as new business. Apparently that didn't count. Now we talked about it again at bylaws and we said it was on the agenda and we couldn't talk about it then again. And it got pushed to January. This is driving me crazy.
So we voted on it
but I
October.
thought we resolved it in the
Did we-
sense that we'll bring it up at the December meeting to let the people in the whole board know what we plan, and then it'll be voted on in January.
But that's what's driving me nuts. It's what is the process?
Right.
Well, that's the process.
The process is, before you can vote on it as a bylaw amendment, it has to be under the chair's report and on the agenda. Where well, hold on, it doesn't have to be done that the chair has to apprise the full board. The best place for that is under her report. That's why I'm asking, what should be typed here?
So you're saying that any bylaw change has to be under the chair's report per our policies and procedure?
Yeah, so
For the
I know
look-
here's a copy of the bylaws, if you want me to bring them up. Before you can vote on it,
Has to be on the
remember,
agenda.
these two that we're voting on,
Why? If we just said if we could talk about a new business, we could vote on any.
Right.
no.
I really, I,
No,
Let me
I
go
need to-
forward. Let me-
application.
give
Let me
them
come over.
time to think about it and
Well,
I
I
make
got
a-
a question before we get into that, right? Why is this a bylaw? Because we have always traditionally cut it off at the start of the meeting. That's an arbitrary time, just like 36 hours before is an arbitrary time. The start of the meeting's not in the bylaw, so we don't need, I don't see why we would need a bylaw for the 36 hours. So I think the going.
Because it's more administrative than more. No, I'm agreeing with Ryan.
Well, so on the, but
you know what I mean.
yeah. The decision and bylaws that I recall was to still do in person, but then limit pre-registration to 36 hours.
No, they could do them. They have the 36 if they want to be on the agenda and listed on the agenda.
Hmm.
But they will have up to the day of the meeting or right before the meeting to register if need be.
So I have a
I
question.
guess that doesn't seem
In
like it
person.
changes anything.
I don't know.
In person?
I can address it loud, real quick, just real quick. So, wait, hold on,
What?
wait,
About
hold on.
what?
Let me try to answer a lot of questions here.
This is the one.
So, let's try to two words in one stone. So, for this coming meeting, we want to do the 36-hour rule, fine. It would be just for this meeting though. What we were talking about bylaws was making a permanent change, right? To the gallery, right? Whether we were doing the whole gallery or, I mean, I know Rich was at that meeting, Cynthia was at, were you online?
Yes.
Okay,
No, I was there.
so yeah, so you're agreeing with me I'm writing this, right?
Yeah.
So the idea is to make a permanent bylaw change, right? We want to do this for this meeting again, fine, but to make a permanent change, here's what's required legally.
Okay.
Any member of the committee board may propose an amendment to these bylaws. Proposed amendment shall be submitted in writing to the chairperson who shall present it at the next meeting of the community. So that's why we put it under her agenda. It's
Right.
presented, I put it in writing.
Mhm.
And the best place is on the agenda. She brings it up before the board. No vote shall be taken at this meeting. That's why it has to be voted on in January. That's to make it a permanent, long-lasting change. But for the agenda for Thursday, we can, if we want to do it again for 36 hours or whatever, we can do that.
So why did we vote?
I think we did it for that meeting last week.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
think it was presented at the last
Yeah, it was
meeting.
done for
It's like a test.
It was.
It was a test.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, look, you want to keep it, that's fine with it. I mean, it's just, we were talking, some people
Yeah.
were taking it to another level with bylaws. Does
Oh.
that make sense?
Okay.
It just,
That wasn't how I took it, actually.
You did.
As we are implementing change.
Two.
And this is just gonna be practice moving forward.
Okay.
I didn't take it as a pilot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't think that.
Again, remember, I joined the bylaws meeting late,
Yeah.
so.
No, I'm-
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
At this point, I'm gonna just be, you know me, I'm gonna be honest. Well, I'm sorry, that's the legal route. Whatever you guys decide to do, it's fine. But when the minute comes and people are still talking, I'm leaving.
Mm.
And I dare anybody to put me as absent. I'm straight.
I hear you.
Because, I mean, when you say people sign up, so you mean 15 to 20 people can sign up the same night and everybody wants to talk about the same subject. I don't understand that.
Me either.
My whole thing is,
Limiting.
my whole, I've been
That's
to,
what I'm trying
I
to
was
figure out.
at a community, you know, it was this community board.
Oh, yeah, when we
First
talk about the bike lane and whatever.
It was 45 minutes to an
Same thing.
hour of the same topic, when those 10 people could have gotten together, wrote up something, one person at the podium reads it, and then the line of all who view this, you know, who feel the same way, could stand there and support. while this person is reading.
I remember that.
Yeah,
That didn't happen. I'm not sitting through that. I didn't sign up for that. That's not what these meetings are supposed to be about. I have a family. So I'm saying whatever you decide to do, whether it's 36 hours in advance or whether it's signing people up, if you give them a half an hour and there's still 10 people left that have not spoken, they don't speak. And if they do, and anybody who says, oh, give them extra time, I'm packing my bag and I'm leaving. Because all of this Facebook stuff that was going on regarding this 36-hour nonsense, listen, I'm not in kindergarten. I'm a grown
I don't
woman.
even go on this.
I don't go on there.
Well, I've not seen any of those people at the
I
meeting.
never look at that stuff.
Because it's
Let's call influencers, so no one likes my name agitators.
But I haven't seen the national,
No,
this
I-
meeting or the bylaws meeting, right? Am I wrong or am I right?
You're absolutely right.
I guess, can I go back to the fact that we voted on this?
Yes. No, but we did vote on it, but we didn't know what if it was a temporary thing or a permanent
What was
thing.
the outcome of the vote?
That we voted,
We think
it's the 36 hours.
You're talking about.
that's it.
You're not talking about-
We talked about it full board, we voted on it.
Wait, time out. So we all voted the full board.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all voted for the 36 hours.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's it then.
No, but it wasn't on
But
the
we-
agenda.
We did
It
it
wasn't
wrong.
on the agenda.
Yeah, but remember,
I think that what Jeremy is saying is that we did it wrong.
Well, no. I'm saying we did it. I'm saying we did it.
So we did it wrong.
Meeting, we did it for
So
that.
let's
particular
do it right
meeting,
this
and
time.
People weren't aware of it.
Ryan, go ahead.
So, I mean, the point of it is, like, if we make a bylaw change and we still allow registration up until the minute, then that doesn't solve any problems. That doesn't do anything.
We're not doing it.
but I thought,
As I
What's
understand, that's the proposal on the table. If we do it to just 36 hours before, it does solve a problem. If there are a ton of people who want to speak about the same thing, we can anticipate that. We
Exactly.
can talk to them. We can tell them, look, there are too many people. We don't have enough time for all of this. You need to get together. We can say that. We can also know what they're coming to talk about, so we can respond to it, right? They have a right to have a
right,
full answer from us.
right,
If they come in at the last minute and sign up and 17 people want to talk about the same thing, this bylaw proposal doesn't change that.
Mhm.
The 36 hours.
No, it doesn't.
I think does.
Yes.
yes.
but I thought we were also going to put in a time limit for the gallery session of 30 minutes.
Yeah, no, you're right.
That's
My
what-
question, my issue was, did we have to do this? Well, we're gonna vote on this now next month. In bylaws, but I guess the answer is yes per our bylaws. So.
You know that.
But I disagree.
Well, not in the bylaws though.
No, wait a minute now. We, like you said, we put this under new business.
I don't know. Yes.
And
Yeah,
we
no,
voted on it.
Exactly. Can we
Voted
take?
to change the bylaws. We voted on
Naomi,
it for that meeting.
But to accept,
In the.
but to accept this
so
language,
2 minutes.
is that
Yeah.
correct or
I
not?
don't think we voted on it to accept the language, right, Jeremy? We
So
voted
what are
on
we
it
voting
to
on?
do for 36 hours at the last board.
Yeah.
Not to put it in the bylaws.
Correct. So,
To go through the process.
Yes.
So the problem here is there's too many moving parts, right? We're all getting lost in the sauce, right? Because when you were talking about voting.
Side conversation.
Yeah, please, guys.
Yeah.
Sandy.
Sandy, please. So when you were talking about voting, I thought you were talking about bylaws. Right?
No.
Nothing was voted on bylaws besides the two motions.
Correct.
Right? So that's my, sorry, I was confused on that. Yeah, we voted to enact the 36-hour.
At the general board meeting.
But at bylaws, we were talking about doing more than that.
Correct.
Like the half an hour thing.
Yes.
And even though we can do it we can put it into practice. The bylaws thing is about codifying it, making it permanent or changing it because some people want to do the in-person registration, right? That was talked about in bylaws.
Yeah, no.
And I thought, like, well, I'm all about the 36-hour rule. I thought at bylaws, something different came up,
Oh,
right?
that's where I'm confused, because if we already voted on this
why are we doing this?
to do this, I don't understand.
You know why we're doing this? Because some people had issues to say that we're muting them.
No, why are we talking, are we continuing to talk about the procedure to do what we all agree that we want to do? I mean, we all agree that we want to do something, but we keep talking about the procedure, and I understand that we voted on something and now we don't know what we voted on and all. Let's not keep talking about it. Let's just figure out what it is that we need to do the 36-hour rule, which I
Right.
think we all agree on, and the 30-minute limit, which I think we all agree on. What do we need to do?
Okay, so that's what, if that's what everybody agrees on, 36 hours, 30 minutes,
Yes.
right? Okay, So then the agenda,
Well, I'm gonna, we'll,
Wait,
which I'll share,
uh-huh,
is there.
Yeah.
I'll just add 30 minutes
Okay.
total for gallery.
okay,
And then I'll put it on Cynthia's report as a bylaw amendment proposal, right? Because while we put into practice last month for 36 hours, this month again, and the additional 30-minute limit,
okay.
it's not in our bylaws.
it's not a road.
So it will go under as a proposal of Cynthia's report, and they'll be discussed in January, right?
I
The
thought
bylaws committee.
we already did discuss it.
Well, yeah, you discussed it, but you didn't vote. But you guys didn't have a conclusion. Go ahead, Ron.
All right, let's go.
And is it going to be 2 minutes per speaker?
Yeah.
Talk about that when we
That
go.
means that we're potentially going to allow 15 people to
No,
speak?
No, 30-minute limit, 30-minute limit.
30 minutes.
30 minutes, right? So 2
No,
minutes,
30-minute max limit.
right?
That's it.
But that includes the
Back
back
and
and
forth.
forth
But he's,
conversation.
No, it's something for 2 minutes, and then you say something for 2 minutes, that adds up to the 30 minutes.
gotcha.
And that's it, you're done.
Great.
I think y'all need to be clear on that
No,
when
we
y'all
will.
say this.
We will, because we talked about our bylaws. We said
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not enough time, but so that's what it is, what it is.
So if that's clear, that's what I'll write up. And when I run back over to share the agenda, a perfect example that Ryan was more or less bringing up, Sandy,
Right.
was we have 2 people about the same subject.
Mhm.
Because they registered in advance, I can now talk to them tomorrow to clarify, hey, are you speaking about the same thing? You know, can you join as a group,
Okay,
right?
let's move on.
You know, some boys don't have a gallery.
Thank you. Thank
Some
you.
boys don't have a gallery. And I know when he tells me, Harry, there's no gallery.
But you have to give the people in the community a
No,
chance.
but you know,
to
they
speak.
write on a piece of paper, and they just, they read it out. Like if 5 people want to have an issue, they put it on a piece of paper, and I think the chair or the vice chair reads the thing for 2 seconds and then.
Wow.
Oh, wait, we had also talked about in bylaws about that, the new member section of the bylaws, taking out the electronic certificate, 90-day.
Oh, yeah, that was, well, at this point,
Well, did that pass or did we just talk about it?
it was put in, and we just mentioned it. We said we've never done it because that was what Bernadette came up with, and it
What is
just-
that? What is that? You're trying to-
she wanted, like, after 90 days, they would be, looked at, do you like being on this committee, blah, blah, blah. Here is a certificate of completion or appreciation. Take it out. Right. Do that, or
Jeremy, you back?
Yeah, I'm here. So I can address that real quick if Cynthia wants.
Yep.
I mean, so I do have a document, a working document that I've been working on, that in consultation with Cynthia, and I brought this up at bylaws. So yeah, so the idea was the bylaws committee agreed to remove the printed certificate, but keep the survey for what committees the new members want to be on. There's also about cleaning up the language with the investigative committee. And then, because remember, there was a lot of, well, hopefully you never have to use that committee again. So there's no time, there's no rush for this stuff. But while it's fresh in our minds, putting time limits in there, I'll hash out details with Cynthia. Again, this is just to put on the agenda for discussion for next month, right? Because that's the process in our bylaws.
Okay.
And then Cynthia, you just said something else, I thought?
It was about the new member
The
section.
certificate.
No. That was covered. Investigative committee.
I think that's it.
No, there was something else, but,
it was the appointment of a chair if the committee didn't choose one,
Well,
but that's already been discussed,
Yeah, it's on the
and
agenda.
that's in the laws.
yeah, I'll figure it out.
We can come back to that. All right, let's go back to the agenda for December.
Yep. But my advice is, since this 30-minute thing is going to be new, my recommendation is we vote on that under motions tonight
Okay, yeah. that's fine.
after we hear from the public.
Yep.
So everybody can see the gallery, the chair's report, treasurer's report, meeting minutes, my report, committee reports. So these are the 2 motions that were brought up on the agenda last month that were discussed in bylaws and approved in bylaws. And then we have a new liquor license for tomorrow night, 1808 Hone. And then any other motions or committees, things we're missing? Am I missing a committee?
Just Can you put,
Shelter updates?
no, I mean, yeah, sure, that's fine. Yeah, put that anyway.
I did get some additional information too,
No, that's
Rich.
fine, that's
to talk
fine.
about
I
that.
wanted to talk about public safety. They don't have a chair, so I wanted to put no chair. We need to talk about, can we vote on a chair at full board?
And education as well needs a chair.
But you have the right to do that if you don't have a chair.
If we pass the,
After we pass the bylaw.
After we
Yeah.
pass the bylaw, but we have to.
Yes.
But I thought there's something that's already in there, kind of.
No, somewhere else, not that one.
Well, any other committee chair?
But I couldn't find it.
it was education, public safety.
Education, public safety.
I mean, the vacancy really kind of puts us in a quandary, but.
What do you mean?
Well, because the bylaw amendment is that the chair decides by November 30th. So I guess she could just decide, since that date has been passed and it's not fair to her, she just decides right away if we approve this at the full
What you're
board.
saying, it's one of those null and void, yeah, a moot point, exactly, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to the chair.
Or November 30th.
That means you have to pick somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that's another tweak that needs to be happening with the bylaws. In case there's a unusual vacancy,
All right.
they should vote immediately, the committees.
Within 90
Or they
days.
give them 2 months, give them 2 months.
Yeah, well,
Right.
that's what we did. We did, that's what we said, 2 months.
Yeah, November.
No, I know,
30th.
but September and October, it's locked in, but if there's an unexpected vacancy, that should probably be handled just right away. So maybe I could put that as a proposed amendment on the chair's report.
Yeah,
Right? It's kind of like the special elections thing.
yeah.
Okay. So anything else?
But nobody wants to chair.
I don't think so, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's good.
If nobody wants to be a chair, then maybe this is where committee
Well, I know.
consolidations come in.
I like what I'm hearing, Chair.
How many vacancies are there? Chair.
Two.
But it's the attendance issue.
Why can't public safety go to parks?
They don't want to get to them.
Yeah, I
Is
think,
that their choice?
Yes, it is.
We
Doesn't it?
can't-
None
we
of
can't
them go up.
We can't remove that.
We'll talk about that, we'll talk about that.
That's a good question.
Anything else, Jeremy? I guess, the 2025 January agenda?
Yeah, the calendar.
Yes, please.
I got something for the full board. We have a community development has a vote. We took a vote on our district needs assessment and should vote on it at full board, even though it's been submitted
For this Thursday?
for fiscal year 26, yeah.
So
For
for
this
this,
Thursday, yeah, sorry. we are-
Jeremy, for this Thursday, Ryan has something that they voted for something.
Okay, so what is it again, Ryan? Just real quick so everybody knows.
We voted on our district needs statement at our October, whatever meeting it was. It was after the November full board. Wasn't November. So we voted on that. It's just the statement that we submit to the city along with our budget requests. We voted in committee to approve it and the full board should vote on it. Really should have happened before we submitted it in October and trying to do better going forward.
Okay, so motion to approve of the district
Needs.
FY 2026 district needs statement.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me pull up the calendar then.
Mhm.
All right, can everybody see that?
Yes.
Yep.
So ethics fell on Martin Luther King Day, so I moved it ahead so it stayed above the full board. But Naomi, if you want to consult with your committee members to see if that's okay with you or them, because I assume you don't want to meet on a federal holiday.
I already had, for the 13th.
Did
Oh,
you?
did? Okay,
Yeah,
so good. So-
I thought we discussed this, yeah.
okay,
Because
For housing, move us to the 7th for now, or, because second's not gonna work.
What time though?
7 p.m.
All right, so sanitation is set to meet at 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna be long.
And this is all gonna maybe change.
Okay.
Okay.
I know it's here from transportation. Was there, anybody see an issue with meeting on Three Kings Day?
Who's in transportation?
Rabbi and Hazel. Rabbi, and Hazel, we spoke about it last meeting. Rabbi, I informed you earlier today why.
Three Kings Day?
I don't know what it is.
Three Kings, the Spanish holiday.
It's a Spanish holiday.
In Puerto Rico.
When the Magi came up. Isn't that when the Magi came up?
The three back kings.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of Christmas, you get your ribs on Three Kings Day.
Jeremy, do you have land use?
I do not have land use scheduled.
Yeah.
That's a meeting, that's a meeting that historically didn't have a date set.
Oh,
If you want to help, we want to work out a date, we can.
Yeah, we need to be.
When you have, two religions in one family, the kids love it. They
Yeah.
get Christmas, they get Hanukkah. they get-
Christmas and Hanukkah on the same day.
I know, don't you hear the new name?
Okay, am I picking up all the cross?
Yeah, guys, stop the sidebar, please.
So. Transportation will stay then for Three Kings Day?
And we don't know if public safety is gonna keep that date.
Actually, you could take, I mean, honestly, you could take that date, I feel like.
Yeah, Jeremy, can we have the 21st? We may have a guest speaker, so I wanna make sure that
We
I.
gotta give safety an opportunity to see if they're gonna meet.
Oh, it's 6 o'clock.
Well, when
Yeah.
it meets at 6.
I do 6 o'clock meetings, yeah.
So it's.
So that's fine.
Okay.
So land use you're talking about, Wendy, right?
Yes.
Okay. So anything else for January then?
Yeah,
Oh, you know.
something that I kind of proposed in our letter to the committee, I'd like to do joint meetings for pretty much every month so that instead of asking people to submit budget requests and their need statement, to just go to the meeting, bring what we have, the budget requests that pertain to that committee, and see if, together we can add to, modify, edit the document, and get input from the committees who are responsible for those
sense.
areas. So if anyone wants to host us, then, I'm open.
I got a question. How about some,
Almost do that'll.
how about some of these meetings when they're already set in stone and nobody's canceled?
What do you mean?
Like a lot of meetings get canceled.
Yeah, I know.
Last minute, so what do we do about that?
We'll talk about it in a second. Is that all, guys, for this calendar?
Wait, so.
Can we go down? I want to see. the
Right,
economic
you gonna
development.
pick which one you're gonna go to for,
6 o'clock might be hard for me this month. I gotta wait, so we'll do health.
That would be in January.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
you're saying, right? January, yeah.
Yeah, so move community development to public health to 14.
So it's a joint meeting or it's a,
Yeah, it'll be a joint meeting and Brian,
You
Brian
can do
Brian
that first.
Yeah.
didn't show up.
Gotta help with the tech.
7 o'clock, right?
that
Yeah.
leaves the 22nd open for anybody that needs it.
And also if they want, they're talking about someone coming to the new prison thing, maybe I'll have them come in February.
Okay, anything else? Juan, is that okay for you?
Yes. Uh,
15.
can we try it at 6 again?
Economics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear that, Veronica? Jerry?
Yeah,
Since you're on that committee?
6 is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you want me to go to, so Cindy, I know you got a request from at least one new member about trying to work on the calendar, publishing the calendars in advance.
Yes.
Is this something we should handle here? Does the committee want to go to February, Rich? I mean, I do have a document online that says when they typically meet. It's not the same thing as, if somebody saw my email earlier, same thing with February for ethics, you have a federal holiday. So because the full board's on the 27th, I don't know if you want to talk to your members, Naomi, about the 10th or the 24th.
That's February, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that's far in advance.
Well, I mean, 10th
Oh,
or,
that's
I'm sorry, what
fine.
dates? 10th?
10th to the 24th.
10th or the 24th, assuming you want to keep it a Monday.
Yeah, let's do the 24th, and I will talk to them in January, if anything will change.
Okay, so tentative.
Yeah.
So then we'll publish this as a draft,
Yeah,
but the other,
that's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple of board members ask about that.
At least people know in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and are we staying with 6:30 historically, Rich, for housing, or?
No, I mean, 6:30 is too hard for us. 7 is the one we want.
Okay, so that may make a permanent change for 7.
Yes, please.
And anyone else? I know Wendy moved it up to
Me?
6 hers.
Can I have I like the public safety days. What is that, the third Tuesday
Yeah,
of the month?
Yeah.
6 o'clock?
Mhm.
I like that.
for land use.
For land use.
Okay, so we'll make that a reoccurring thing.
Yeah.
So wait a minute, you're gonna be with Parks and Land Use. You'll be 6 and Parks will be 7.
Well, is that public safety?
Public safety.
Public safety.
And if they, cancel, we'll just, if we need to, we'll just go.
I'm gonna take July and August off, which is typically when we take a break. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
So let me make sure it appeared, and there it is, 18th for February.
Thank you.
Any other more systematic changes or recurring changes, anyone? Or any other committees, Ryan, you want to combine with?
Yeah, for February, that third Tuesday will be a good one for me to join
Okay.
land use and hopefully public safety too, just,
First,
yeah, because we only got 6 months and.
Yeah, well,
So-
it makes, yeah.
So in February, you want to do a joint meeting with land use if possible? Is that what you're proposing?
Correct.
Yep, we can do that.
Wendy, is that okay with you?
That's fine.
So 6 PM for both meetings?
But what about the rest of the members of your committee? Are they willing to come to all? Oh, it'll be, yeah.
We're not doing double.
Yeah,
Yeah, just the one,
so it's like 1 a month.
basically, yeah.
Okay, 6 PM community development and budget priority and land use communities. I'll go back, make sure that was right for health. And then put it alphabetical, unless anybody really opposes. Okay, anything else for calendar, Rich?
I think we're good. Let's move on.
So, well, going forward, Rich, or the rest of the committee, do you guys want to do two calendar months in advance, just to kind of help people with scheduling, or?
Yeah, I mean, this was helpful, I think.
Okay. All right, so then we'll make it practice. I'll put that on the agenda going forward.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Okay, let me save that. So I'm done sharing, right?
Yep. Up next is running of committee meetings. You want to say something to that? Was this the same issue from last meeting, right?
Yes.
Okay, so for folks who weren't on executive, there was an issue brought up at bylaws about folks who were not part of the committee sitting at the table with committee members. Brought it up, gotta address it, guys.
I wasn't.
Do not sit at the table if you're not part of the committee,
Thank you.
right?
Yeah, I mean, we need to follow to the best, to the extent practicable. We really need to get ourselves together in a Roberts Rules parliamentary state of mind when we come to our committee meetings. I know that they've been run a certain way for a long time, but it hasn't been productive, and I think it causes a lot of confusion. So, you know, we all really, if we need training on parliamentary procedures, I mentioned it at the last meeting, there are trainings online that you can just kind of watch a recording from the city on how to conduct committee meetings. But we really need to be consistent, because that's another complaint I'm getting from many people, is that, you know, there are certain rules in certain committees for certain people and certain rules for others, and it's just, we need to be consistent across the board, and we need to treat everyone kind of the same. Otherwise, it's just creating a lot of issues, and we're not getting anything done.
So I would like to take this on. So like I said, I'm gonna try to do a Robert's Rules presentation in January or February, because I know we have 2 cases. And also work with Jeremy, I'm calling you out, to make a list of, you know, just little bullet points of how to act in a meeting. Like, you can't sit at the table, you know.
So this came up because one person sat at the table?
No, I think what it was is that there was it was
2 people.
it was loosey goosey. I can't, I was at the table. I shouldn't have been at the table. I
Yeah, but
think,
it's-
hold on, but I think the issue is that she's right. One meeting's held this way, the other meeting's held, sometimes people don't do 2 minutes for galleries, sometimes people do 2 minutes for gallery. I think it is a little, I mean, I agree. I mean, we need to stick to the script. If not, it's not fair, you know, to folks. So I think we just have to stick to our rules.
I won't let it happen.
Don't worry.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Your fault.
And then Wendy.
So we've
Aside
gotten
from these-
complaints. More recently, we got complaints from members of the public as well as the board, right? And I know it's hard to keep track of people online sometimes. That's part of the problem, right? Because I think some of the complaints we got recently were people who attended online. Ultimately, it's about equality and fairness, right? That's ultimately what it's about, or in transparency. You know, if there's a lot of people sitting at the table, who's who? That's why I bring those name stands. But when you're online, you can't necessarily see those name stands. I can't read them.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. I think we just have to document things and have places for people to refer to on the process.
Yeah.
Period.
You're right.
Just piggybacking.
Yes,
on
Wendy, you're next.
Something you said, Rich, script. Is it possible for the chair members to get a script? In my mind, I'm thinking a little binder of, you know, how to make a motion. Robert's rule. Maybe it's a, you know, what do you call that? Not in
Like a
depth,
tip
but
sheet?
Like a cheat sheet, yeah.
I'll print one out now, so we can
you know,
all take it.
binder, and then as we change chairs, that gets floated
Yeah.
down. So that
Yes.
people know exactly how to do, it. And they can take it not just from this community board, but
Mhm.
other boards,
Yeah.
because other boards follow Robert's.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, because I think it's a lot of learning on the job and that takes too long. Yeah, okay. I think that's it for that. Bullet point. You want to go to gallery session?
I'm ready whenever you-
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Any,
You're waiting for us.
no, I mean, Harry, your timing,
I'm
right?
ready, I'm
Okay. Who wants to go first? Anyone online?
Yeah, it's me, Kay Cardona.
Thank
I'm
you for
sorry, I
joining.
accidentally hit the mute button, so I guess I'm gonna talk. I just wanted to wish everyone there a lovely holiday. I enjoy attending the committee meetings online and stuff, and I'm just really, it's kind of sad that it's taking you guys so much organizing and stuff to get things in order. It's upsetting to me to see you guys have to go through so much stuff to get, I guess, some sort of symbiotic way of doing things I just wanted to let you guys know I stand with you and I enjoy the committee meetings. And I wanted to wish you a very lovely holiday.
Thank you, Kay.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Anyone up next? Raise your hand, please. Diana, Robert? Okay, hearing nothing, we're gonna move on. Motions, we have no motions, right? At this very moment that we didn't put into the agenda.
Well, we discussed the 30 minutes.
Anyone else wanna? Sorry, I think I skipped over. Efren, Malcolm, Lisa, Chris. Okay,
It's 30-minute thing.
I know, but that's your business. Oh, go ahead, Efren.
Even unmute yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just wanted to wish everybody a happy holiday. My schedule is going to be very busy, and so I won't be attending the general board meeting. And we don't ever get things done by staying quiet. That's why we discuss things. So have a happy holiday. Have a happy new year, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Hearing none. Moving on, motions. Don't have any motions on the agenda. Moving to old business, nothing on the agenda for old business. Right, Jeremy? Okay, good.
I put motions there to cover whatever you might have discussed before, but you don't vote on until the motion section. So if you want to vote on that, that's why it's designed that way.
For what?
Because we talked about the full board agenda and enacting the 30-minute rule. If you want to keep that for old business, you could do that. It's up to you.
We're doing that in new business.
All right.
Thanks. All right, old business. Yeah. Hearing nothing, new business. All right, I have a couple of things, so give us some time here. The first thing I'm gonna bring up is the 30-minute rule that we just discussed. If you want to discuss, Harry, can you give me 5 minutes on this? We have a motion to restrict discussion of this topic for 5 minutes. Anyone second?
I second.
Anyone opposed?
You want 5 minutes?
Hold on. Hearing none, this so moved. So 5 minutes. Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Go.
Okay. So the topic is restricting the gallery for 30 minutes. And we're going to enact it this Thursday. Any discussion?
No, we thought it would be a good idea to keep the flow moving
Well,
and to literally cut down a 3-hour meeting to maybe an hour and a half or whatever.
So just for clarification, we're gonna put it into play, but we're still gonna vote on it for bylaws.
correct.
But we're gonna put it into play for this upcoming meeting.
Right, to
Correct.
see how well it goes.
Yeah. Any other thoughts?
But you're gonna have everybody agree to this at the meeting?
That's what I wanna.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
don't know if that's gonna be okay.
Or if
Well, no, I know, we know, we're gonna vote it. We just have to vote on it now.
No, that's, I'm clear
We're-
on
we're-
that, but we leave tonight
Uh-huh.
and there's conversations happening behind closed doors
Yeah.
with people. And then all of a sudden we get to full board and it's something new. So I just want to be clear that whatever we say tonight, we're agreeing to that.
It has to, yeah.
Because I know people.
Yeah, on the record,
I don't
on the
know.
record.
No, we're hoping
That's
that
why I wanted to put
eventually,
on board with this whole vote and discussion thing for new
Okay.
business, yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry. We are voting on it today.
Yeah,
That will be the rule for the next meeting, right?
correct. And then we're gonna discuss
yeah,
it.
but I gotta figure, hold on, you're right, because I can't have to, the full board has to vote on it.
Right, this is the committee.
Yeah.
This is a what we're
So the
doing.
trial won't be until February, really.
Wait, one second.
Hold on.
I know what you're saying.
Hold on, because I can't vote, I can't vote on anything new until I get the motions. I can't get to anything, this is.
No, I think that we can still do it. The discussion in bylaws didn't say that it was illegal to do this, that we're not allowed to do, so we can
Right.
still vote on it here. The bylaws is just to codify it and.
Yeah, but the thing is, anything that moves out of this committee needs to go to full board.
Right.
That's
Right.
the issue. So then I get stuck now where I have to wait now again
That's right.
for new business. So maybe I punt all this stuff that I was just gonna talk about. I can't, I mean,
There's no-
what we can do is we can recommend.
No, wait, there's no point in doing that. We already have a procedure to do it permanently. By January,
Okay.
this is gonna be the permanent thing. So
No,
let's,
by
by February, it's gonna be the permanent thing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Does it have to be a motion or can it just be a vote at the beginning of the meeting? That we put it in
I don't.
for the 36 hours,
Or can it be an
Or
executive?
30.
I think you have to tread real close because there's so much backlash
Jeremy
Yeah.
has his hand.
because of this.
Yeah.
You gotta tread real lightly and make sure it's done right.
Okay, so the question is that we've raised, can we vote on anything at the commencement of a full board meeting? Go ahead, Jeremy.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you guys set the agenda.
Oh,
You vote here.
How? If new business is at the end.
But someone.
So remember, you discussed the agenda and the idea of the 30 minutes. But we waited till the gallery, so that if anybody here objects to it from the public, we give them that opportunity. We can do the same thing. We can put on the agenda to vote it, we hear from the gallery first. Then the first order of business under the chair's report or the leadership committee, well, no, because it pertains to the gallery.
Right, but can't we just make a motion at the beginning of the meeting? Someone from the board makes a motion. We'd like to make a motion to have 30 minutes today for this meeting. Blah, blah, blah.
Or can the board chair just do it?
No, board chair can just do it.
And if you switch the order. of-
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna get.
You're gonna get.
We're gonna get bumped.
Gallery session. And
I see that too.
it was meeting, there were two gallery things written and someone brought up, which gallery, why two gallery session?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't foresee us going longer than 30 minutes based on the current registrations.
Right, but I don't think it's a good idea to.
It'll be a
So
board
let's-
finish in February.
just do it.
So that's that. Okay, we're gonna cancel this. Okay, I think we're not gonna vote on this tonight. Clearly, there's a cadence issue in terms of voting. All right. Anyone else? I'm gonna move
So
on.
then what are we going to do with the full board?
No, it's gonna be regular. Right, just regular. And then you'll take it up at bylaws. All right, cool.
These bylaws on the calendar.
Oh, yes, didn't do that.
That's a good idea. Thank
It's
you.
about.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, cool. Thank goodness. When can you meet?
I don't know, we gotta figure it out. Because if Joanne goes away and I gotta work with, I'll have to let you know. 'Cause
No, yeah, I mean, but okay.
But bylaws meeting is going to happen in
It
January.
has to, yeah.
Unless you call an emergency meeting.
Yeah, we're good. We're
Yeah,
done
we're
with this one.
still, but if
Um,
she's away.
We spoke about running meetings. The next one is see the gentleman's name? Or is it Francis?
It's on
It's on
the
the
agenda.
Is it? Not for our.
No, for the.
Okay,
executive, it was.
so we have an issue with a current board member who's missed 3 consecutive board meetings, and he's missed all of his committee meetings,
Except one.
except one. Cynthia and Jeremy and staff have been working with the Bronx Borough President to get this resolved. But, what do? We discussed the executive committee, and we wanted to bring it up here. I don't think we made a decision, right? But, so let's do 5 minutes of this one. All right, so motion to discuss the Francis Benitez attendance issue for 5 minutes. Anyone second?
Sounds right.
Anyone opposed? All right, go ahead, 5 minutes. All right, so I want to give the floor to Cynthia to discuss quickly what she's heard so far.
So we have had him at one committee meeting since September, no board meetings. There have been conversations with the council member's office to put them on notice. There have been conversations with the borough president's office to put them on notice. There's been back and forth. There's time conflicts for him. Whether or not he was able to work around it or not, doesn't seem like it. Difficult to have communication with him in terms of just even reaching him, you know. So the question is now whether or not we move forward with initiating removal.
And you reached out to via text on November the 12th,
That was, I think, either Jeremy or the borough
and
president.
no response to that text.
Jeremy's hand is up.
Very good, Jeremy.
So remember, the only reason we're discussing is because you have to consult leadership committee. The idea is to put this on the agenda for the next executive board, so we don't have to really get into the details. This person
Right.
can be brought for removal because they missed enough meetings. And it's, unless the committee has stuff,
You know, we
you know,
continue.
we did go into executive session last month to go over some details that shouldn't be public. I don't know if you wanted, I don't think that's probably needed right now, unless somebody wants to do that.
No.
but-
No.
Okay. So
Well-
then it's really just a matter of putting the leadership committee on notice, consulting them. And then you guys, I think the executive board, based on the bylaws, officially has to vote. You do have a quorum of the executive board here.
Oh, because we're in person.
I have a question, I'm sorry. So, I understand, you know, that this isn't a bylaws, but I also, as ethics chair, want to just state, you need to document every step that you're taking. Because, you know, you just want to be fair to everybody. You know,
The first step.
Yeah, that's what this is, yeah.
Second
Yeah.
step is to notify
Yeah.
them in writing and everything. So we're doing it by the bylaws, the way it's written. So this is just the first step.
Yep, but the,
Just to kind of piggy off of what Naomi, other community boards have something called like a trial, right? So if you skip however many meetings and you know, you're a no-show, you are asked to come to, and the proper word is not a trial, but it's like a trial. And is a special committee. And that special committee will interview you to ask you, you know, what's going on with you. And they will kind of determine what to do after they speak to said individual. So they would make a recommendation to the executive committee and to full board to say, you know, upon our research, you know, maybe this is the person that we want to kind of go our separate ways. And we want to send him a formal letter saying, you know, thank you for the services and we understand scheduling conflict, just to make sure that it's done kind of in an orderly manner.
just as.
Right.
Well, that's the process. That's the
Well,
process.
it's
there,
that's
but-
similar to our process, because we basically after this, after it's done, they get, I believe it's a call, can we pull it up?
yeah, I'm sure.
Because it's basically a 5 days to answer, and then if they don't answer, we send it through email or text, and then another 5 days. And if they don't answer that, they get a certified letter. So they have time to answer. We advise them, you know, what we're looking to do, and then they get 5 days to advise us why they haven't come to the meetings. And then the board gets to decide, do we move forward with removal, or do we give them another chance?
Right, I guess the only difference is this will be a special committee and the person would have to, like, we're sitting, the person will have to sit. And
You
look
want
at
an
the
ad
committee.
hoc committee.
I want an ad hoc, I would. So that way you, because, you know, we're reaching out to all of these elected officials, they're not answering. It's crickets. So in other words, it's slapping it back to say, well, what are you gonna do about it?
Well, the elected officials are answering, it's the member that stopped answering,
Right.
So if, why are we still?
We have to do this.
because
We-
this is the.
this is the process.
Process.
So what number process are we
We're
on?
on one.
Well, so his term is over by the time you get.
No special committee. It's been done like this before. I've seen it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean.
It's been done before,
what I'm
just
saying
like
is,
this.
I mean, it's been, now it went 10%, I mean, I agree. I mean, but this is the process. I
They
think,
have to actually miss the meetings in order. for
yeah,
us to-
it's,
So you did, I mean, if someone misses 3 meetings,
Well,
or
that's-
4 meetings, right, that's kind of like the red flag.
all right. So I mean, we're.
It's still a process, still a process, though.
Consulted the leadership.
Yeah,
There's no vote that needs to take place. We just have to consult you guys.
yes.
So we're
Shall the proposed.
We have to
shall
put
be
it in the
adopted by
agenda.
Majority of the executive.
well, that's the next step. So can we do that now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can put it
So
in.
we could do that as
So
an
we can
executive
vote.
board, because
Yep.
we have a quorum of the executive board.
Right.
member.
So I make
Okay.
a motion, I make a motion that we.
Well,
No, the
Wait,
Wait,
executive
is
board.
Jeremy's hand up?
Last
Yeah, no, it's,
consideration for removal of a member.
Jeremy?
the executive board has to vote. on that.
So can we both vote right now?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
You consulted it, you quorum it.
It says that to be on the agenda.
That's what I'm saying. That's
what I'm
saying.
That means another
It's on the, no, it's not on the leadership. That's why I put it to new
So
business.
then we have to put it on the agenda.
month then, to put it off. That's
Yeah.
all like, what's on this agenda.
Whoa, tomorrow we can do it. I mean, Thursday, I mean.
Well, this is just to bring it up for your next, put it on the agenda for your next meeting.
Right.
This is to give this person the opportunity to formally reply to the possible removal. It doesn't mean they'll be removed. Quite
Right,
often,
has
quite
all this
often-
been done already? Has all
Yeah,
of this been
quite
done
often they're
already
not.
after con?
No, hold on. Order, sidebar, please stop. Go ahead.
so after, you can see the bylaws, right? I'm sharing them.
Yeah.
So after consultation, and input, this is what's happening now. Motion shall be adopted by majority of the executive board.
Okay, what's the next step if we vote today and this passes?
Present and voting at a meeting, the agenda for which shall have included consideration of removal of a member.
Yeah, that's the issue.
We need to appoint-
Right, the last section of one, that last sentence of one.
So
Okay.
Yeah, so.
maybe this needs to be tweaked because this doesn't, this,
A lot needs to be tweaked.
this is really hamstringing the whole process.
I know, that's my qualm here, because it's like we want to do things, but we have to wait 3 months to get anything done.
Well, I think that's what we were supposed to do at the executive board meeting, but because we hadn't let the leadership committee know yet. we didn't
Yeah.
vote on it.
And it's fine, I mean, I think this is we don't do this often, so I think
Right.
that's fine. But now I'm gonna recommend something. We need, no, I'm just saying, no, nothing crazy. We need to look at who else is it.
No, I got an attendance sheet, right?
Yeah.
I know, but this is, yeah.
No, there's
No, this is-
attendance that needs to go back, at least for this fiscal year that just passed, because we need to really keep people, you know,
I thought we had 5 minutes.
up to date.
I
with
thought
what
we-
they-
I'm sorry.
We're done.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, sorry. So we need to move on. So we can't vote on this now. It's not on the agenda.
Time's up.
Yeah, time's up. Let's move on. I think that's all I have. Well, the only last thing I have for new business is the combination of land use and housing. But are you open to talk about that now?
You want to talk about it?
Combining land use and housing into one committee.
We can talk about it.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna motion to discuss land use, the combination of land use and housing for 5 minutes. Anyone second?
Second.
All right, anyone opposed? Harry, go ahead.
No, sir.
So no, the idea is that's the closest thing we have to a combination so far. Juanita's open to it. I mean, I don't think, we wouldn't take anything over from you guys. It'll be just sharing agendas.
I'm not concerned about that. Rick.
Okay.
Here's my issue, and I had this conversation with our chair. Housing, to me, is a very important committee, as well as land use, right? Land use is more pre-development, development, zoning. Housing, if done right, is more about policy. It's more about AMI, the rents, tenants, landlord court, things like that, the administrative part about that. And I have to say that's something that this community board has not really done. And land use has, from what I've seen thus far, and I've seen a lot, has not really taken on the task of what land use is supposed to be. Because I remember, and I was a part of land use, not of course on this community board, but another, where the committee would get stacks of development proposals and would have to go through that. So much so that we needed a consultant because you need to understand what you're reading. And from that, the consultant would break it down. Housing, this is what you need to focus on. You know, environmental, this is what you need to focus on. Land use, this is what you need to focus on. And that's why a consultant for this community board is needed to properly guide us correctly. So I am against those two committees coming together. I don't care about, it's nothing about, listen, I don't care about titles. It's about who, the information. For instance, the fine fare, that's something that should be coming out of land use, not housing, because it's a commercial.
It did.
Tenancy. And it should have stayed there. And it's not tenancy. You understand? So,
No, I hear you.
and with
That's why I wanted to bring it up.
that's happening
Yeah.
and the massive development and the rent issue, like housing needs to focus on that.
I hear you. I agree. Okay, well, I
Okay,
agree
but-
on that issue. I'm gonna rebuttal real quick because this is my committee. I mean, I was trying to save time, but by combining, but housing doesn't have an issue meeting. I think we could combine meetings every so often. We're not against that. You hear the conversations that we're having. This is a chair talking to a chair. It's tough to combine these committees, all right? But folks are not showing up. We need to talk about attendance. I don't know what else to do. I really don't know.
But it's about logistics, right?
Yeah, go
You
ahead.
know what I'm sorry to interrupt. but
No, go for it.
It's about logistics. I think it can be combined if your co-chair, and as things happen, you guys have to meet and talk about how you're going to proceed.
But she's saying that housing itself is important. It should have its own meetings, and land use is important. It should have its own meetings.
Because they're
I
looking
don't disagree on that. I was doing it for convenience of time and agendas. Listen, I'm not sure. Hold on. Let me finish. I don't. No offense to anyone on any other committees. Housing has not missed since we started this year. All right, we don't have a problem meeting. But others do. We're trying to have some easy wins. So.
But I guess I need to understand the workload or what
Well,
is
the
the,
workload will increase, right? So
Okay.
the problem is that this side of the Bronx has not really seen massive amount of development,
Yeah.
right? And now we're in a time where a lot of the developments that are happening don't necessarily need to go through the city, right? Back in the days, they had to. So you had to come to the community board
Right.
to present. So now, fast forward with the city of Yes and the massive development, housing needs to focus on policy. They need to focus on the rents that are being offered. There's a whole ton of issues out here regarding rent, and especially with the Section 8 thing where
Right.
landlords want to match up, that's an issue. We need to advocate on that. On the land use end, we need to start advocating on the development, taking away sunlight, the trees, just different schematic issues that need to be dealt with that are not properly dealt with because it hasn't been.
Go for it.
Why can't why can't one group handle both issues? Is it?
It's gonna become too much. It's gonna become too much and we're gonna start mixing apples and oranges and you cannot do that. Now, I would have to say when we start getting presentations, I don't have no problem sitting with housing so we can collectively hear it
5
together.
minutes.
Yeah, motion to approve 5 more minutes of discussion. Anyone second?
Second.
Anyone opposed? All
Good.
right, go ahead.
So I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I think part of the issue with, and I said it before in full board. The reason why we can't get people to come out, one, there's a lot of shenanigans that goes on. And we just gotta be grown adults and admit to that,
In one second.
which makes a lot of shenanigans. Once you're on social media, listen, I'm on social media, but I'm not on social media. But when somebody name drops me,
Right.
we got issues. Now I'm gonna say, I don't know any of you like that, right?
Right.
This is business for me. This is not personal. So it's not me saying I don't like you,
Right.
because I don't know you not to like you.
Exactly.
But you're not gonna disrespect me out there, especially when I'm a part of other organizations.
Yeah, that's terrible.
You're not gonna do that. And then when I tell you my office hours and you dodge me, we're not gonna do that. So we're adults, right? So my whole thing is when you have stuff like that out, people are looking. And people are like, I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
That's true.
So that's why they don't come out. On top of that, if you're not meeting about substance issues, why am I coming?
Okay.
I don't want to come for one person.
Jeremy, go and then Oro.
So, the new issue that was raised about the consulting leadership, the easy fix is just have leadership meet before executive board. So let me
Why?
think about it. Why? Because the bylaws say you have to consult leadership committee first. And then if you do that first and you already have it on the agenda to talk about, then you vote.
Oh, I
And then you vote to have it next month, you vote for removal proceedings because you did one thing first.
Okay,
But
yes.
why we can't combine, why we can't combine these two meetings?
I don't.
Well,
Which
I
one?
think
Which
it's
city?
executive
Oh, no, because, oh, you mean like you guys sit over there and then us meet here?
No,
We
I'm
can do
talking
that.
about like executive and leadership.
Well, because executive is the executive board.
Executive has to vote on certain things prior to the leadership. Or vice versa, so it's.
And that's part, it's Naomi, with Naomi is, that's more of like an oversight,
That's it.
right?
Oversight.
Executive is like an oversight where they will discuss staff issues,
Yeah.
other issues that are not open to the public.
Okay,
I just
back,
want to address something really quick from what Wendy said.
Yep.
I totally get what you're saying about social media and the shenanigans that go on there. I don't see it because I'm not one for much for going on Facebook that much, but I hear about it. But my thing is, if you join the board, it's not just the chair of the committees that need to bring stuff in.
Right.
The members, if they have issues and they want stuff done, they need to bring it forward too.
Yes.
Right.
So them not coming because they don't want to deal with the shenanigans, that's not acceptable to me.
Yep.
Come in, tell the chair what you need to do. Tell the chair about stuff that you've seen going on that you want to address, that the committee is responsible for. You can't just decide that you don't want to come in because you don't want to deal with anything. You're on the board. You need to come in. You need to be part of the conversation. And if you're not part of the conversation and you don't want to be there, then don't be on the board.
No, I
That's my
agree
thing.
with that. I agree with that, Veronica. And chairs need to, say that and make it comfortable with to their members, whatever, to say, bring your issues. We all live in the community. Bring it to the table.
yeah, all right.
You gotta think
Oral has.
No, or, yeah, or, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
No, I understand what everyone's saying, but land use has been involved with a lot of things. It's just that we don't have a lot of development here in the Bronx. But I know when they did have developments here, we were part of the whole process. Like, for example, the 911 building there. When we advised them to reduce the height, it was too high. We asked them to do a shadow study to see how that was going to be built and how that would affect the neighboring buildings. So we do address the zoning, we do address building code, we do address new construction and new development when it does happen in the Bronx. And you're right, the city of Yes is going to now start to have more of an input on or impact on what we look at as land use. But we have been doing a lot, just that we don't meet a lot because there's not much going on in the Bronx. But I think in the future, there will be more going on. So we will address those issues when it happens.
Okay, Cynthia.
So I do have to push back just a little bit, and I don't want a Monday morning quarterback. And I'm not singling you out, Oral, but I find it's unsavory to me that we had to create a City of Yes committee to deal with City of Yes when we have a land use committee that did not meet for almost, I don't know, has it been about a year?
Right?
Like this is, to me, it's unfathomable. So and again, this isn't to single you up because I know that, you have you work for the city, you have different issues and I can imagine that might have been conflicting for you and and that I would get. But it still doesn't take away the fact that that committee as a whole should have met. We should have taken the reins on City of Yes. We should have taken the reins on Metro North. Those are things that we should have dealt with through our land use committee. That's all I have to say.
And I agree, and I think that, it's kind of sad that, we even have to do, think about combining these committees because of lack of participation.
The third 5 minutes.
But at the end of the day, administratively, we need to move the community forward. So, us as a board, we're gonna have to make a decision on doing that.
Rich, if you wanna combine.
No, I'm not combining without your approval. I'll say
No,
this.
if you want,
You're
not to see it, because again, the City of Yes just passed.
Yeah.
So we do need to
Okay.
work together.
All right.
If you wanna do it.
Yeah.
And see how it goes, but when we start to get into intricate things.
Yeah.
That's when we have to.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. So,
I think that's fair.
okay, that's good. Thank you for that. So I'm gonna motion to combine housing and land use. Anyone second?
Second.
Anyone opposed?
I have a question.
Me, I'm opposed to it.
Go ahead.
I have a question. You said that when it comes to like intricate things, you would have to separate. would the committee separate, or you just
I think-
handle things
We
different?
would probably, I mean, we would have to discuss.
We would just defer, it'll be like a mostly land use meeting.
Yeah,
We don't have we don't have an issue.
right,
I just
Yeah.
wanted to.
No, yeah, yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
right.
And it actually saved us some months, like this month we could take or whatever they.
Where did the money come from?
I
So
think Wendy's right, policy versus code and is different.
Are you okay with, you're not okay with trying it? You just said no,
I agree with Wendy and on the whole, her whole premise in the beginning about it.
but she's okay to try it.
Okay, if she wants to try, she's a chair, that's fine. But I
So-
do agree with you, Wendy, that it's different.
Yeah, absolutely not.
So do you wanna, as opposed to, instead of changing the bylaws and the committee, kind of it being informal,
Yeah, we just meet together.
you
Yeah.
just meet
Yeah, just
every
have
month
five
and
meetings for a
not
couple
change
months.
the
Yeah,
bylaws?
yeah.
Okay.
We're trying to save time.
How is that on attendance? Like, does that cause any?
Yeah, that would still kill the attendance.
Well, the attendance is still the
No,
same.
no.
We would still need majority of the members.
Right.
Yeah, but you won't have quorum because you have two committees. So you have one from one committee.
No, but housing, I'm gonna be honest, but housing meets. It's like, no offense. So we're gonna show up and we're gonna show up. Wendy comes to our meetings. So it's
So,
fine,
Okay.
you know, it's,
Well, it's fine.
yeah, I mean, okay.
Yeah, whoever's
Can we see the comp?
quorum isn't there, it
Sure.
doesn't account for a meeting, basically.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I do that on purpose, by the way. Hide it.
Go back to the beginning.
Really?
It's a novel.
No, I mean,
You read all that, right?
yeah, we read that part. We didn't read this. We wanted to keep one. All right, so, okay, we're reading the comments, guys, because we were not reading it before. This is about the Citgo thing, I believe. There are issues at Blondell, okay. Just make sure to announce in advance, okay. So the second speakers, okay, good move, okay. Land use missed so many opportunities for in-depth discussion to yes. And Bronx Metro North for the past few years, about both now need to be followed closely. Thank you. The following the implementation of both COY and Bronx Metro North need to be followed very closely, especially Bronx Metro North are involved in negotiations underway. Major development traffic administration that's needed as construction gets underway. All this has to be seen by the community board. Thanks. It would also be great to have a community that residents can come to when they raise questions about large new buildings that they see going up, even when those buildings are permitted and in compliance with the zoning. Neighbors want to know who the developers are, what the plans, uses are for the building, et cetera. Communities that aren't meeting can have public hearings. Yeah, we tried that, but they still don't.
No, the public hearings part, we talked about
We
that
did.
2 months ago.
Yeah, but no one took
We
advantage of it.
didn't, so
Okay, that's that.
But do people understand that?
It's that okay, so I think now we still have chairs for some committees.
Right.
which is again, we need to look at the committees without chairs and think about, again,
But I think.
combine.
Yeah, I think we're done. I think we're done with this topic, right? I think there's nothing else for new business. Does anyone else have any new business?
Yeah, my new
Yep.
business is that we create a municipal services committee and we figure out how we get, what do you have, Wendy? You have sanitation and who else doesn't?
Have, yeah, sanitation and land.
It's sanitation.
There's public safety.
But
that's
public
vacant.
safety
Public
doesn't have.
safety and parks. Or maybe not a municipal, but
Parks, Janice wouldn't give up our.
we need to do something with these committees that aren't meeting.
Mm.
I'm just saying. I'm sick of saying it, and like, at this point, I'm ready to like scrap the entire, committee descriptions, and we start from scratch.
Yeah, but it doesn't make no sense starting another committee. They don't even go to the ones that are there now.
No, because then you would have the committees that aren't meeting,
So is there? a way
We need,
to
it's
put a-
something we need to discuss
So,
again.
I'm gonna throw it out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Throw it out.
Yeah.
but-
Go ahead.
And I may regret this tomorrow.
Okay,
Regret this.
did you hear that, everybody?
Yes.
Public safety,
Mhm.
do you mind adding them to us?
No.
To sanitation.
Three
Three
committees?
committees,
Okay.
we could do that. Because it, in the long haul, I mean, especially in the pre-development and development stage, it makes sense. We have to know about like construction safety and then just different. Yeah. And then
That
you
makes
go
sense.
part of
Yeah,
That.
yeah.
security,
Yeah.
so.
So sanitation.
I was public safety. Now I can come back. And I had to leave because I didn't have too many. So yeah, that works with me. So motion to combine housing, land use, and public safety.
Are we combining them or?
We're
it's gonna be
trying, but
temporary?
we're temporary, but I wanted to say it out loud and so we're all in agreement.
How does it forum work?
Or-
Yeah, that's.
You're not actually gonna be officially combining. You
Not-
guys are just gonna be meeting together.
Correct.
I don't see how that.
Basically works. because
No, I know, but
you don't have to have
honestly, we
forum.
we're trying to save other people's times. We're going to a lot of like
Can we
meetings.
just try for once and
I
then?
think
we-
if the majority of folks
It's
can
a
make,
trial.
hold on. If majority of those folks can make that one meeting, they don't have to go to another meeting another time.
Right.
Because everyone.
For that month.
For that month.
It's one meeting.
That one meeting. So if everyone just focuses on that date, just show up.
No, but I'm saying you're not officially combining.
No, we're
them.
not, because I can't
So
change the
that
bylaws.
means that there'd have to be a quorum for land use.
Yes.
A quorum for
Right,
housing
yeah.
and a quorum for public safety in order to be able to say you had a meeting for each of those committees.
Correct, yeah.
Whether or
Right,
not
that
it's
was-
combined.
Yeah, that's what I was bringing up.
No, yeah,
before,
yeah,
like, I'm
that,
trying
under
to
the rules,
understand.
yeah.
Okay.
So you can't vote for anything, you're still.
No, if they don't show up.
So
Right,
public
yeah.
safety, if they don't show up for this combined meeting, they didn't have a meeting.
No, they didn't have a meeting.
Because they're.
How
How many members do you have on public safety?
3.
Three.
There's no chair currently, and the only person that's required to come to this meeting is the chair of the committee.
But do they have a chair?
No, it's vacant
That's
now.
what I just said. There's no chair currently.
It was
There was a suggestion to explore a committee/subcommittee system.
For what, more committees?
So like a subcommittee, like, so there'll be a chick that you'll have your quorum, because there would be, that would be the main committee.
Malcolm,
There will be a subcommittee in that big committee.
it's Malcolm Quay.
I was gonna say that too. because-
Subcommittee of what?
Like, so let's say, it's housing.
Yeah, so.
Housing, then you have a subcommittee for public safety, a subcommittee for land use. Rather than, now you're meeting quorum all the time.
Yeah,
So what happens with the forum of public safety?
So then
You
you would
won't
have
have
to,
to.
you would have to remove public safety and
It would just be,
Yeah.
housing as official committees.
Yeah, that's a problem. You have to remove
vote
them.
to have
Yeah.
them removed.
right,
That seems.
and then just, but they would just be subcommittees under that big group.
Which basically would be a combination.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
Those are things that do.
But I think, yeah, I mean,
So the issues will be addressed for those areas, but at least you always have quorum.
Yeah, but the problem is for community boards, your housing and your land use are your prime committee.
yeah.
They're the two most important committees that you
And then
have.
some,
And that is the community board.
and someone would say public safety is very important.
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
When done right, it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I mean, I don't know. I think the motion's still on the table.
Yes, I think so too. I think we have to think about this a little
Yes.
bit.
Malcolm has his hand.
Yeah, Malcolm, go ahead.
Just to explain it a little bit more, whoever was speaking was correct for sure. Like you can combine the committees, and in the committees you have co-chairs, and then the co-chairs will have to look over their subcommittees. But
Right.
what you would do is that you would just pick which members from the larger committee to attend those subcommittees, so you always have quorum and you can always make votes.
Right.
You know, it just makes the whole system transition a lot smoother than just having separate committees. If you have separate committees, you're going to keep having the same issue over and over again.
Yeah.
You need to make everything bigger so you have a bigger chance of getting quorum.
Quorum,
So,
right.
but then now you have people that are in the main committee that now have to attend a second meeting throughout the month. How can we guarantee quorum?
They won't have to
No,
have to attend the second committee after that. You just, if you say, all right, this is the larger, how to explain it? If you say that this is the larger committee, right? You just have to tell them, like, look, we have business that has to be done in the housing committee. So we need people to attend the housing subcommittee. The only member I think that will stay consistent will be the co-chair of that specific committee, if that makes sense. Like those are the chairs that have to constantly go.
When does that person meet? They meet on their own time?
I mean, I guess you guys will have to schedule out your meetings when it happens.
Has to be,
That person has to go twice somewhere.
right, so it doesn't make sense in the fact that you have the main committee and then the subcommittees, you're gonna pick people for the main committee to go to those subcommittees. They still have to be public, they still have to have an agenda, so it's basically just more committee meetings.
And you have a trouble, you have enough with just one meeting, can you
Exactly,
imagine? I mean,
exactly.
I
two
don't
or three.
understand. I think we should, maybe we should table this.
I still had a motion on the table to combine land use, housing, and public safety for next month
As a trial.
as a trial.
You don't have to have a motion to have a.
Because I wanted no folks to agree to it, so I could put it on the calendar.
See what happens.
Yeah, I would just
Make it a
change the
trial.
wording of it to have a
Don't
combined.
edge it in stone.
Okay.
Not to combine the committee.
Okay. So I'm gonna retract my motion. I'm motioning to have a combined meeting of land use, housing, and public safety. Anyone second?
I second.
Anyone opposed?
But it should be known,
Wait,
Richard, that it's a trial.
No, I know, that's why it's combined. So no one opposed, the motion passes. We're gonna have a combined meeting for next month.
So you gotta put it in the agenda.
We have to go on the calendar again to do that, though.
That's fine, that's fine.
Can I share that then?
But
But make-
No, they're having the meeting together. They're
I think-
Yeah, but sanitation is
They're
set.
already together. This is perfect. This is destiny. Is this the 21st? So make the housing go to be first.
There it goes. There it is.
So
that's the same.
what was combined?
Make
Sanitation.
housing on the 21st, and that we have that
The
combined meeting.
days. You can take all that other stuff out.
Okay, so what time?
9 o'clock.
No.
If you're gonna do a combined meeting, it should only be one time, so.
Right,
that's why
like
fix it,
six,
fix
six,
it,
or something.
6 to 8, yeah, 6 to 8, that works. Yeah, that works. See, that's what, so we'll try, hopefully others like it, we could combine that.
While you have the calendar up, Rich, I would suggest that Sandy pick a potential date for bylaws. So
Okay.
that's
I
their
will put
time.
the same day as I have because it'll be easier
For
for
housing,
Joanne,
right?
that I have it on, go back. Aren't I,
Right here,
it's,
8 o'clock, like you did this month, right after health.
or,
Okay.
Can you see that?
Or make
I'm
it,
not on the 20.
no, I think she made it,
14.
Oh,
I think it was 6 PM, right? You had?
I was 8
No.
p.m. She had bylaws at 8.
Wait a minute.
So you wanna do that, do it like that, Sandy, on the?
yeah,
14th?
no, to make it sick, is 6 okay with you, Brian, Brian?
For health?
Yeah, to come in, and then you could be, and then at 7 could be the bylaws.
6, I'm usually not.
All right, then let's keep it at 7 as a meeting. Let's do it at 7.
You want bylaws at 8 then?
Yeah, all right.
7:45 is what you did last time.
Because hopefully Ken, can make it after. But no matter what, Joanne and I.
Did we decide to flip executive and leadership?
We could do that now.
times since we're in the
We could do that now,
calendar,
yeah, we could do that now. So flip the 16th?
so that we can consult with leadership
6
on.
o'clock, yeah, okay for everybody.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Or 6:30?
We'll make it at 5 o'clock.
No, hold on. So maybe 6:30, Ryan, can you make 6? You can.
For leadership?
No, so make it 6:30 for leadership.
Okay.
And then exec can make 7:30.
Why can't we leave it the same, 6 and 7?
Because he can't make 6.
Oh, you can't make 6?
Yeah, probably not. No, not about that.
You didn't write I did. Joe.
Well, we'll try it for January.
Yeah. Yeah, but now we can switch it back.
I mean, we could just do it.
I think it was raining.
We have the bylaw thing.
Yeah, that's why, yeah. Okay,
Anything else?
Okay, so what time are we doing?
6:30.
6:30 for the land use?
Oh, no, what are you talking about?
6:30.
I still have to, I still didn't make I put them,
Land use.
6, and then it'll just make all that under one time if you can. So remove the time brackets for housing and public safety.
Okay.
Okay,
so all those committees at 6 p.m., land use, public safety and housing, right?
right,
On the 24th.
all right.
Great volunteer, anything. Aren't you happy?
So if I may, we do have one member of this committee who's been absent 3 meetings in a row.
What
So
committee?
th- What's that?
Which committee?
Parks.
Who?
This is their third unexcused absence this meeting. Unless
You
I,
said-
something I don't know about.
Who? I don't know who that is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That
Yeah.
would be Ms. Walcott.
I mean, has anyone reached out to her?
I don't know.
I mean, let's
You gotta go through the process.
Well, this is the process, is first informing you guys
Okay.
and
Then the
then
next is to tell her, right?
to tell her, or I mean, if somebody wants to reach out to her,
Email, letter, whatever, just like the breakdown, how we do it.
so if anybody wants to
And
take
if she
that.
doesn't- if she doesn't respond to phone calls, emails, or texts, whatever,
Rich, anything else?
then
No,
you go to the next step.
we let him do the last thing. I mean, I don't have a relationship with Janice. I'm not that close to her. Is
I
anyone?
can reach out to her, but maybe Cynthia wants to, since or somebody.
Doesn't Janet live in the same building?
Walcott.
Jay?
With who?
Janice Walcott.
Yeah, Janice. I don't. So we'll ask the chair. She's not here right now. I don't want to put this on her.
Hey, this is unusual for her. Maybe something happened. We should be concerned.
Well, no, but she shows up.
Oh, no, I spoke to her earlier or last week. I spoke to her last week, but not about this.
Oh, I see.
But when we were going over attendance, when I was filling in, I just noticed it. This is.
Yeah, we're discussing Janice.
Got you.
You want to reach out to her? She's
It's
missed.
her third big leadership she missed.
Oh,
This
okay.
is the third consecutive one, and
It's like,
remember, that's how you can be removed from the board for 3 consecutive unexcused absences.
And that's when you start the process of removal process.
So that light bulb go off.
Okay.
yeah, I wouldn't dare touch it. All right, thank you, Jeremy. If there's anything else in terms of new business, I'm gonna motion to adjourn. Anyone second?
Second.
All right, hearing none. We're meeting adjourned at 8:39 PM. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. See
Good
you.
job,
on the
Rich.
20th.
Good job, Rich.
Thank you.